Assalamu alaikum, grade 7. How are you all? I hope you all are doing very well. So today we are going to start our grammar mini lesson. It's mini lesson because it's very small. There are some lecture notes which I want you to understand and then practice. It will help you a lot. So our grammar topic is direct and indirect objects. As you can see over there, direct and indirect objects. So how we are going to do that? Let's begin. So the first thing that we should know is that what is an object? So an object is often necessary to complete a basic sentence containing an action verb. It is essential, it is important that we should have an object to complete a sentence which has an action verb. And how is it going to be? We are going to see in the in the next slide with the example. The other thing that you should know is that objects also make sentences more meaningful to the readers. If there are no objects, the sentences are meaningless and the reader cannot understand them. See how it's going to be? Okay, so first we discussed about the objects. Now let's go to direct object. A direct object is the noun or pronoun that is receiving the action from the verb in the sentences. नाउन या प्रोनाउन जो रिसीव कर रहा है यानी कि ले रहा है एक्शन फ्रॉम द वर्ब उसको बोलते हैं डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट हाउ इज गोइंग टू बी see the example over here. Scott kicked the ball into the net. So as you can see, the subject is Scott and the predicate means the main verb is kicked. And what is it kick? What did Scott kick? So he kicked the ball. So here the direct object is the ball. As it is said over here also, they answer whom or what regarding the action verb. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे स्कॉट जो है वो हमारा सब्जेक्ट हो गया है, किक जो है हमारा मेन वर्ब है और बॉल हमारा डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट है. हमने डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट इसको क्यों बोला है अभी जब हम इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट पढ़ेंगे तो हमें पता लगेगा. ठीक है, इट्स वेरी सिंपल. स्कॉट किक द बॉल. हियर द बॉल इज द डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट. Now, there is one more type of direct object. It is known as compound direct object. Now, what is compound direct object? When we have more than one direct object in a sentence, it is known as compound direct object. Compound means many, यानी कि दो या दो से ज़्यादा. तो जब हमारे पास सेंटेंस के अंदर दो या दो से ज़्यादा डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट्स हों तो हम उसको बोलते हैं compound direct object. David planted an apple tree and a lemon tree this weekend. So here the subject is David and the predicate or the main verb is planted. And what did he plant? He planted an apple tree and a lemon tree. So how many objects we have? We have two direct objects over here, apple and lemon tree. ठीक है, ये चूंकि डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट है, डायरेक्ट इनका ताल्लुक जो है वो सब्जेक्ट से है, so that's why we call them direct object. So now let's go to the next one. It's an indirect object. I want you to be very focused here. आप थोड़ा ध्यान से इसको देखिए. An indirect object is directly related to the direct object. It tells who or what is the recipient of the direct object. Indirect object जो है वो कहीं ना कहीं directly related होता है direct object से. You cannot have an indirect object without having a direct object first. Remember, याद रखिएगा, जब तक डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं होगा हम इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं रख सकते सेंटेंस के अंदर. इट विल नॉट मेक एनी सेंस. यू डू नॉट हैव टू हैव एन इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट इन अ सेंटेंस. किसी भी सेंटेंस में एक इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट का होना ज़रूरी नहीं है. इफ देयर इज नो इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट इट्स टोटली फाइन. यू नीड अ डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट. Indirect objects can always be found between the verb and the direct object. Now this is something tricky. आप ज़्यादा confused ना हो. Let me explain it to you with the example. You will understand better. Now see here. Stephen showed Corey his new car. So as you can see, the subject is Stephen. Okay, and the predicate or the main verb is showed. Now here the car is the direct object, right? Stephen showed his car भी अगर होता तो correct होता. But here we have added Corey and Corey is the indirect object. So if I remove Corey from here and if I say Steven showed his new car, it's correct. बिल्कुल totally fine है. तो यहाँ पे new car या फिर सिर्फ car को आप ले लो, because new will be the adjective. तो car यहाँ पे हमारा direct object हो गया. So here Corey is the indirect object. ठीक है. Now let's see here. Let's do this. This will help you to practice. Kyla baked Jared a cake for his birthday. So as you can see here, the subject is Kayla and the predicate or the main verb is baked. ठीक है? Cake will be the direct object. ठीक है? And what about Jared? Jared is going to be the indirect object. It's very obvious. अगर हम इसको यूँ लिखते कि Kayla baked a cake, तो भी ये correct होता. There was no mistake over there because ये simple sentence बन जाता जिसके अंदर एक direct object आ गया, एक main verb आ गया. Okay? And as you can see the next examples over here, I want you to answer these next examples. Okay, take your time and write down in your notebook and practice them. It's totally very fine, very easy. आप पहले जो है वो direct object के साथ sentences बनाइए. Once you are done with the direct object, then easily you can make sentences by adding indirect object. डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट सेंटेंसेस के अंदर ही बनाइए आप मिला के. जैसे आप पहले बनाओ कायला बेक्ड, यही एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं. लेट्स टेक दिस एग्जांपल कि कायला बेक्ड अ केक. सो हियर यू कैन से बेक्ड अ केक, राइट? सो बेक्ड अ केक अगर आप लेते हो तो कायला इज द सब्जेक्ट, बेक्ड इज द प्रेडिकेट एंड केक इज द इन डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट. अब यहाँ पे आप एक अपने नाम ऐड कर दिया जैरेड एंड इट बिकेम द इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट. Now the rest 2 and 3, I want you to answer it. You will solve in your notebook and show it to me. Okay, I hope you understand. You have understood the lesson very well. If still you have any doubts, you can of course ask me. And please keep practicing because practice will make you perfect.